Hey there. In this video, I'll show you how to create this swipe to delete functionality using just one component. So let's get started. First, let's create a frame. I'll be taking the iPhone frame and change its background to somewhat darker shade. After that, I'll be adding a layout grid. I'll be using columns, so with 4 count and let's just say 16 pixels of margin. And next, we'll create this UI card. For that, I'll be creating another frame with aligning it to the margins. Let's just say 120 pixels of height and add fill. Let's just get it outside and reduce its opacity to 5% and add some corner radius with outline stroke. I have the card background, so let's just populate it with some images and some text fields like shoe name, type, size, drop down, and price tag. Once we have the card populated, let's add some auto layout to it. So I'll be selecting the shoes name, type, and size, and hit Shift plus A, which is shortcut for auto layout, and then I'll select the drop down button as well and create one more auto layout container. And now I'll also select the price tag and create one more auto layout. So once we have this, I'll change the auto layout container width to fixed and let's just say the spacing to auto. So this is done because if I type in a bigger number, it will not overflow out of the frame. I'll also select the image and create one more auto layout group. Now I'll select the main frame and create one more auto layout group. This will all make sense in the end. So if I reduce the width of this image, so automatically the card width would also decrease. Now I'll create one more frame with same width and same height as the UI card and remove its fill and create one more frame inside it and add fill to it. So this will be our delete button. So I'll just change its color to somewhat red. Yeah, and let's just keep the same height and reduce its width to let's say 56 and give it some corner radius. Now in this frame, I'll add a delete icon so that now our delete button is ready. Let's just rename them to avoid any confusion. This will be our shoe UI card. Now I'll drag the shoe UI card into this frame. Just make sure that it is inside that frame. Now I'll reduce the width of this image so that there is nice padding in between both. Now I'll select this whole frame and hit Shift plus A and we have one more auto layout group. Now I'll select the delete button and change its width from fixed to fill container so that when we swipe, it fills that container. Now we have this. Now let's get it back to normal state. Let's increase the width of this image. Once we have this, I'll add a bottom padding to that auto layout so that it will act as padding in between the different cards. Now let's just go ahead and create a component for this and add variant. So this will be our default state and this will be our swipe state. Just reduce the width of this card so that the delete icon is in the view. Now create one more variant and reduce the opacity of UI card to 0% and delete button at 0% as well. Now here's the tricky part. We'll reduce the height of this whole variant. Let's just say 1. Figma wouldn't allow you to make it 0, so is a walk around. So all you have to do is change the height to 0.001. That means it is 0. So we have the delete state as well. So we have the normal state, swipe to delete, and the delete state. Now let's switch to prototype mode and connect this variants. So let's connect the first card to the second variant, and on drag will be the trigger, and let's smart animate. Let's go with gentle ease with 800 ms. This is perfect. Now for the delete state, so we should also have a state where user wants to get out of it. So I'll just drag the second variant UI card to the first variant and on tap. So if they tap it, they'll get to the default state. For the delete state, this should be connected to the delete variant, but Figma wouldn't allow to connect to this variant. So even if you connect, it will be connected to the components inside that variant, but not to the variant. So you cannot do that. So what you have to do is you need to connect this to the first variant and on tab as trigger, and here change the property state to variant 3. So now it's connected to variant 3 and smart animate. So we have our component ready right now. Let's drag our variant 1 out of the frame and duplicate it and select both and hit Shift+A for auto layout, and make sure that the spacing in between is 0. That's why I added that extra 8 pixels of padding on the bottom to create that padding in between the elements. Now duplicated the card several times. Now let's change the images of this cards to make it a bit different from the other cards. Hit Command Shift K and you can select multiple images with that shortcut. Select the images and place them. Right. Now rename the cards as well. And price tag. Do it for all the elements if you'd like to. You repeat this for all the cards. Now once we have our list ready, drag it into your mainframe. To complete the UI, I'll be adding a top app bar and a bottom nav bar. I'll not show you how to create them in this video since this tutorial is mainly for the swipe to delete component. So I'll just reuse the ones that I've created. Now I'll just make sure that there is enough padding between the top app bar and the list. We have a final UI ready. Let's go ahead and select the frame and hit play and see if it works. Now when I swipe the card, the delete button pops up. When I tap on the UI card, it disappears. If I tap on the delete button, the card is being deleted. I can repeat this for all the cards until the list is empty. And that is it. We have the swipe to delete component ready. So usually in order to create swipe to delete list, it takes multiple frames. But using this method, you just need one component. Thank you for following along. So if you have any difficulties following the video, I've also created a Figma community file and included that link in the description. You can use that as a starting point and watch this tutorial and follow along. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. If you'd like to see more such tutorials, please consider subscribing. See you in the next video. Goodbye for now.